Part 1 Introduction. Something's off. Hey Reddit. Long-time lurker. First-time poster. I never thought I'd be here writing about my marriage like it's some kind of bad soap opera. But here we are. My wife, Nina, F 32, and I am 30 have been together for 8 years, married for 5. We've had ups and downs, but nothing like whatever this is turning into. The first signs were small. Like, blink and you'll miss it small. She started locking her phone, even though before she'd leave it lying around the house for hours. Her girls' night suddenly doubled in frequency, and she'd come home with makeup smudged and smelling like a cologne I don't own. It was the attitude shift that hit me hardest. She went from laughing at my stupid jokes to sighing and saying, "God, you're exhausting," over the smallest things. And when I'd ask what's wrong, she'd tilt her head, smile this cold little smile, and say, "You're imagining problems again." I kept telling myself it was stress from her job, or maybe just a rough patch. But deep down, that known pit in my stomach was telling me something else entirely, that the woman I married was playing a whole different game, and I didn't even know the rules. Part to the discovery, it happened on a Tuesday night, one of her so-called late work evenings. I was bored, so I decided to clean up the living room. I moved her purse off the couch to vacuum, and her phone slid out. Normally, it just put it back, and not proud of what I did, but something in me said, "Check it." The screen lit up with a notification from a guy named Kyle. The preview showed, "You looked incredible tonight. Can't wait for round 2." My heart went into overdrive. My first stupid thought, maybe Kyle is a coworker and they're just being flirty. But I opened the thread anyway. Nope. Not flirty. Filthy. Paragraphs that would make a sailor blush. Pictures. A hotel selfie of her in lingerie, never seen before. And the kicker, the timestamp was from last Thursday, when she told me she was at her friend Jess' house watching Netflix. I just sat there, staring at the phone, feeling like my ears were full of static. It wasn't just the cheating. It was how casual it all seemed, like she was living a second life with zero guilt. That's when I knew I couldn't pretend this was stress or a rough patch. I had proof, and part of me wished I didn't. Part 3 The confrontation. She came home around 11 p.m., heels in hand, grinning like she'd just won the lottery. I was sitting at the dining table with her phone right in front of me. The smile froze the second she saw it. "Emmy. Who's Kyle?" "Her." "Excuse me. Are you seriously going through my phone now?" "Emmy, I saw the messages, Nina. The hotel, the pictures. Don't even try to say it's nothing." She didn't miss a beat. Rolled her eyes and said, "You're unbelievable. That's my coworker. We were rehearsing for a corporate roleplay workshop. It's for team building. Corporate roleplay workshop with lingerie." When I didn't buy it, she went full attack mode, accused me of spying and violating her privacy, claimed the lingerie was a gag gift from a friend, said the hotel was closer to the meeting venue. The venue was literally 15 minutes from our house. Then she did the thing she's scarily good at, crying on cue, sat down across from me, tears rolling, telling me she can't believe it thinks so little of her after everything she's done for me. And here's the messed up part. For a split second, I felt guilty, like maybe I had overstepped. That's how deep she had her hooks in me. Part for emotional impact. After that night, I felt like I was trapped in a hurricane inside my own head. On one hand, I was furious. How could she lie with those crocodile tears and flip everything around on me like I was the bad guy? On the other hand, that little voice kept whispering, "Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion." Every time I saw her, I was on edge, waiting for the next lie. The next "Why are you so paranoid?" jab. I started noticing little things I hadn't before. How she'd brush past me, and I asked about her day, or how her phone screen would go black the second I walked by. And the worst part? She loved to push buttons. One minute, she'd throw me a sarcastic, "You really think I'd cheat on you? Huh? You're pathetic." And the next, she'd sulk and say, "If you don't trust me, why are you still here?" It was exhausting. I felt like I was losing myself, constantly questioning reality and my own worth. And yet, for some dumb reason, I was still hoping she'd just snap out of it and come back to the woman I thought I married. Part 5 Decision and resolution. So after weeks of riding that emotional roller coaster, her lies, her guilt trips, and my endless spiraling, I finally reached a breaking point. It happened on a Saturday, when she had to work late again. I stayed home, alone, scrolling through her phone again. Yeah, not my proudest moment. And guess what? Another guy, different name, same game. This time it was Jason, And the messages were even worse. That was the moment I realized I wasn't just fighting for a marriage anymore. I was fighting a war I'd already lost. The lies, the cheating, the manipulation, they weren't just side notes. They were the whole damn script. I called a lawyer the next day. No big dramatic showdown. No we need to talk speech. Just a cold, quiet decision to walk away before I lost even more of myself. Did it hurt? Like hell. But staying felt like swallowing poison every day and pretending it was medicine. I knew I deserved better than a wife who could gaslight and cheat with such casual cruelty. Part 6 conclusion. Looking back now, I realize how much this whole nightmare taught me about trust, self-respect, and red flags. The hardest lesson: sometimes love isn't enough, especially when the person you love is an expert at twisting the truth to keep you hooked. If there's one thing I'd say to anyone going through this, trust your gut. Don't let anyone convince you that your feelings are paranoia or insecurity just because they don't want to be caught. Manipulation can feel like love when you're in the middle of it, but it's really a trap. Also, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Walking away was brutal, but it saved me from years of pain and endless drama. And honestly, I'm starting to find peace in the chaos now that I'm free from the constant mind games. So yeah, it sucks, but you're stronger than you think. And there's a whole world of honesty and respect waiting for you once you decide to leave the lies behind. Part 7. The provocation that broke me just when I thought I was done with the drama. Nina pulled this insane stunt that threw me right back into the chaos. One night, out of nowhere, she sends me a text, "Meet me at the old park bench, midnight. Let's talk." I'm thinking, maybe this is it. Maybe she wants to fix things. So, I go. I sit there freezing my ass off. And she shows up dressed like she's auditioning for a bad reality show. Then she drops this bomb. "You're not the only one who can play games. I've been seeing Kyle and Jason. But guess what? I've also been seeing you. You're the one who's been cheating on yourself." At first, I'm stunned, then pissed, then confused. Then somehow, I find myself defending her, making excuses for her wild lies and manipulations like some kind of love-drunk idiot. It was the lowest I've ever felt. Trapped in a cycle of lies, provoked into emotional exhaustion, and totally losing control of what was real. Part 8. Picking up the pieces after that insane midnight meetup. I was a total mess. I couldn't tell if I was awake or dreaming. For days, my mind was like a blender: confusion, anger, and this deep sadness swirling nonstop. I stopped eating properly, lost sleep, and barely spoke to anyone. But slowly, the fog started to lift. I realized I was letting her chaos dictate my life. The lies, the games, they were her weapon, not mine. I started talking to friends I'd pushed away, got a counselor involved, and began the painful process of figuring out what I wanted, not what she wanted me to want. It wasn't easy. Every text, every "I love you" she threw at me felt like a hook trying to reel me back in. But I fought it. I needed to break the cycle before it destroyed me completely. Part 9. The final break. After weeks of this emotional tug-of-war, I finally said enough. I told Nina that I needed space, real space. No texting, no calls, no "I'm sorry" pity parties. She threw a fit, calling me every name in the book, but I stayed firm. The day I changed the locks was both terrifying and liberating. It felt like ripping off a bandage I had been hiding behind for years. No more midnight texts. No more "I'm a victim" performances, just silence. It sucked to walk away from someone I loved, but I learned that love isn't supposed to feel like a battlefield. If you're constantly doubting yourself because of someone else's lies, it's not love, it's a trap. Part 10. Reflection and advice. Here is the honest truth. After all this chaos, I learned that love should feel safe, not like walking through a minefield. When someone you trust repeatedly breaks that trust and then tries to twist the story to make you the villain, that's not love. It's manipulation. My advice to anyone out there who suspects their partner is playing games or cheating: trust your instincts. Don't ignore those red flags just because it's easier to pretend everything's fine. And don't let anyone guilt trip you into staying in a relationship where you're constantly doubting yourself. It's painful to leave, yeah, but in starting to believe that leaving toxic love behind is the first step to finding peace and maybe, someday, real happiness. If you're in this mess, remember, you deserve honesty, respect, and a love that doesn't come with strings attached. Stay strong, Reddit.